barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Feel free to join the Patreon. Okay, I appreciate the subscriber that actually sent me this in DM. I gotta protect myself as a journalist. I gotta protect my integrity. I have to protect what to make what I say is factual. You know, I'm not going to play the clip. I want you guys to click the link in the description box. Click the link in the description box. It's not my video, so I'm not going to play it, even though I can play it, through the Fair Use Act, but I don't want to go through that. So just click the link in the description box, but I'm going to quote it verbatim. Okay? Matter of fact, I'm going to paraphrase it, but my paraphrasation is 100% factual. Okay? Because I don't want to miss, them little words, them is, them a's, them ain't. I didn't write down the clip, but I know it pretty well. So when I interviewed Andre Ward, I just simply wanted to know why why he uttered the words that Deontay Wilder wouldn't want to go through that. And the way I interpreted was he felt Deontay Wilder wouldn't want to go through that in terms of his character, right? Now, I also alluded to the fact that Ward Kovalev was about race. And if you combine everything involved, the same fans, the same energy of the fans that push him through Ward Kovalev, quite possibly was the same energy that pushed Deontay Wilder. And he understands this because he admitted this in this video. He says, I know people out there fighting for me. And he actually saw my video in this thing because I interviewed Kovalev, giving him an out as it relates to the Carissa Shields, as it relates to the Donna Stevenson. He's talking about my video. I was the only one that asked Sergey Kovalev that question. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm not going to go off a limb and say I haven't seen everyone's videos, but I was the most aggressive doing that, and he alluded to my videos. He alluded to my videos in the beginning and in the middle when he said, I see the people that are out there advocating on my behalf, and he just wanted to thank you. And in my intro video, you will see he thanked me, on some level, and he told me to my face that Ward Kovalev was not about race. But if you click the link in the description box, he calls Sergey Kovalev a racist. The person asking the questions alluded to there's been some conversations that Sergey Kovalev is a racist. He says it is what it is. It is. He's had opportunities to recant, and he didn't. Go listen to it. So Ward lied to me, when in fact I was telling the truth the whole time. The whole time I was talking to Andre Ward, I was dictating truth. I was dictating facts. What he said in the tweet was a fact. What I said about Ward Kovalev was a fact. I didn't bring up race outside of those two questions. And we need to be we need to call a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. The same black men, and I'm only going to talk about black men because I converse with more black men than black women as it relates to the stratosphere and media and fans. And I know there's many black women that support, but I just want to isolate that for a second. All right, I'm not discrediting your attributes to the sport of boxing, but I think just for the tone and the tenor of this video, the same black men that supported Andre Ward is the same audience that supported Deontay Wilder. And why that's important is because it's the same fan base that buys tickets, buy pay-per-views, buy merchandise, and passes on the words and passes on your name in barbershops, car washes, churches, movie theaters, where playing the game of spades, dominoes, at your daughter's quinceañera. You understand what I'm saying? That same urban You know what I mean? That stamp of approval that Jay Prince gave him. You know, that type of crowd is the same crowd, the same energy, which I was alluding to. I didn't want to use the term black or white because I knew, because I'm more intelligent than I look. I know Ward doesn't use black and white terms. All right. So I was trying to be as succinct with him as I quite possibly could, because if I would have used the word black, he would have shut me down. This ain't about black. This ain't about white. So I used a more elaborate term, which will fit into his vocabulary, which how he talks. Because I've interviewed Ward. I have so many interviews on my channel with Andre Ward from years back. Feel free to check it. And um, I think it's just important that that he understand. I don't want to talk about nothing else in this video. I just want to talk about the facts. The fact remains that my humble opinion, Andre Ward didn't believe that Deontay Wilder would want to go through that again, right? For whatever reason. But in between fights, Deontay Wilder encouraged the rematch, where Andre Ward was considering retirement. Virgil Hunter alluded to an interview. He was uncertain what Andre Ward was going to do, and Virgil Hunter and I heard interviews where he was making suggestions. He didn't want to go through the politics of boxing, to go through this again, and didn't want to deal with main events. They're hard to deal with, so he was considering retiring. All right, that would leave open that he didn't want to go through that again. Now, regardless if you believe Ward Kovalev was different as it relates round by round, Deontay Wilder got a knockdown in round 9 and round 12, which makes it very apparent that he was figuring something out about Tyson Fury. Andre Ward got better and better as the fight went on, but the fact remains, Ward Kovalev 2 was about race. Andre Ward admitted to it and lied to my face. All right? It's just plain as day. He was, in my humble opinion, he was looking for an out cause. I know he worked, I was under his umbrella. That's why I asked him for a one-on-one. I didn't want to do this in open space because I didn't want to leave nothing up to interpretation. And I told you guys in my reaction video, it wasn't an interview. It was a conversation that he and I had, or a debate, I didn't consider it an interview, you know. I thought, I think this conversation is important. I hope both sides grow. I hope that we get to the destination at hand. You know, I'm not going to be a COINTELPRO. This ain't no COINTELPRO type operation. That's not what I am. But I have to protect myself as a journalist. And I'm not going to sit here and allow Andre Ward to dictate lies when he said it out of his own mouth, exactly what I said. You understand where I'm coming from? So from that perspective, I'm going to protect myself. He's on a bigger network and he can do X, Y, Z. I turned down a job from ESPN. I turned down a producer job years ago from ESPN. So so from that perspective, I can benefit. No, I chose not to work around famous people and, take selfies with guys and men and women that are more famous and has more financial self-esteem than I have. I chose not to. I'm gonna benefit from X, Y, Z. I I I I didn't take a liking to that because if you follow my channel, I put my money into boxing and right back into the community. If you know me personally, I do this on a daily, not on a monthly basis. I have a budget for it. So at the end of the day, Andre Ward was using a lot of deflection tactics. He never answered the question. He never answered where I was coming from. I thought we made progress throughout at the last 4 minutes of the interview through my recollection. I haven't watched the interview yet. You understand? I just don't feel comfortable watching it. But I just want to make this very, very clear. Click the link in the description it will say that Andre Ward agrees with 100% with what I said about Ward Kovalev. It's about, and the interview was 2 weeks before Ward Kovalev. He's trim, he's cutting weight, he looks about 185 in this picture. He looks lean, he looks great. And this is right before he knocked him out in the 8th round, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 8th round, I believe he knocked out Kovalev. Um, um, so, but at the end of the day, this is, we can move forward, we can grow. This is about community. I personally don't care to be the how you say it, the guy dictating the narrative. I think it's more important that we fight and set aside the truth. I don't strive to be famous. I don't want to benefit from this. I've done 5 films. I've never been in one scene. You understand what I'm saying? Was nominated for an Emmy, didn't even go to New York. So I don't want the fame. I don't want the fame. I don't know where I cut off at. I don't know when I stopped talking. Uh, so I don't desire the fame. I want to create a platform where people feel safe and they can converse. You know, you guys know my stance. I've watched boxing for quite a long time, and I fully understand the plight of the black athlete in boxing. You know, and there's an entertainment element to YouTube, and I understand it, and I have to appease that audience as well. It's entertainment, right? And take it how you want to take it. You can disagree with how I dictate it. You can agree or disagree, but if it's public in the sport of boxing, it has a right. It has a right to interpretation. It has a right to be disagreed upon. It has a right to be agreed upon. And that's what it is. Andre Ward brought up the color of his father. I didn't bring up the color of his father. I didn't say he did not have to. I didn't say he didn't have to. He didn't have to or have to do anything. I just said what I believe what was wrong. I believe it was a deflection tactic. You know, so I'm doing this one to substantiate my claim, and to just prove that I'm 100% right, and to take it a step further. All the people who are like extremely racist, um, now they don't know where to go. Now they're like the roaches when the lights cut on. Ward did say Kovalev Ward was about race. Now that y'all know this, who do you protect now? Fake Ward fans, Ain't no fake Ward fans. Fake Ward didn't really have a really strong fan base because he never really came out, and we never really based off now when you look at it in hindsight, he never really came out and was a dog verbally, and that's why he sold between $8,000 and $10,000, rough 8 to 10,000 tickets, on his big arena fights, you know, because he was missing that element. He was missing that auditory element that that galvanized the spirit of his fans, and that was quite possibly one of his shortcomings as an athlete, if he ever had one. He didn't have too many. You understand? He was damn near a perfect boxer. Was he 2000? I always say 2008 as it relates to Andre. I believe it was 2004. I think Gary Russell was 2008. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, um, those Olympics sometimes bleed in together. I don't even know where it was. I don't even know where the 2004 Olympic was. I know 2000 was Australia. When was Japan? I don't know. When was Carmelita Jeter when they broke the 4x100 meter? So I just, that's the picture of the Olympics that I have in my head. So I think that was 12. I don't know. But anyways, man, um, um, I said all that to say this. You can call me a fool. You can call me a race baiter. But here lies the truth. And what are you going to do with it? Ignore it or accept it? The choice is yours. I mean, to go a little bit deeper, I said I wouldn't talk about anything else, but Ward was waiting on me, right? I've never seen him confront Teddy Atlas when he said to his face Lomachenko was better than him with one loss, with 10 fights. He's never confronted Dan Rafael when Dan Rafael called him the most boring fighter in the history of HBO. It's in my, I have that article somewhere in my notes because I did a video on it. He called him the most boring. Why wasn't you waiting on them? I don't know why, but he's waiting on me. I thank him, and I don't want this to get misconstrued like I'm going tit for tat. I'm substantiating my claims using other examples. I'm thankful that he stopped. I'm not going to even front. He's benefiting from this as well. I'm gonna keep it real. These clicks that he's getting, you can combine Brand, Sullivan, Barrera. It didn't do this many clicks. I can guarantee you, it didn't do this many clicks. I know it didn't, because the people wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? So people didn't care. So I'm not tapping myself on the back. I'm not doing that, but I'm speaking facts. Gervonta Davis had a fight this weekend, and what people are talking about on YouTube, Ward's, myself and Ward's conversation in front of the entire world. That's what people are talking about. And so he's going to benefit from this. His name is quite possibly could get bigger. He can make a comeback. For real, Ward can make a comeback next week to fight, tune-up fight, a 2-fight deal with the Zone, which I believe he's going to do, or with ESPN, a 2-fight deal for a championship fight against somebody. I believe it. He's not tricking me. I mean, through yourself, others. Men don't sit down long. Alpha males don't sit down long. It's just who we are. Every night I'm looking for a new building. Every night I'm writing. Every night I'm reading. You understand? Trying to get better, trying to create an avenue for myself. You understand? And it's 1:05 in the morning right now here in LA. I went to a film festival, supported one of my friends' films in the film festival, and here I am 1:05 in the morning. Got to get up at 3:45 if it stops raining to go run my 5 miles. I'm going to go run in 2.5 hours. For real. So men are men. So I know he's going to make a comeback someday. And these numbers, I'm being real. He's saying I can benefit from this. No, he's the biggest benefactor from this. I'm not the biggest benefactor from this. He's relevant. Ward wasn't the most relevant fighter. He was the best fighter. He wasn't the most relevant fighter. He very seldom left Oakland. So I just wanted to make this thing very, very clear. He agreed with me, except he didn't feel comfortable saying it to me. He felt comfortable saying Ward was a racist to another media outlet, which is okay with me. You can't hide the truth. You cannot hide the truth. And I have to protect my intellectual property, and I have to protect my journalistic integrity. You know what I mean? So, anyways, man, have a great night. I'll see you guys in the morning. And, Your Honor, I rest my case. Peace.